Alright now, before we begin, there is the mic test, of course. Check, check, check. And my stream is doing the thing again. I don't know. I lowered the bit rate, but it doesn't seem to be doing anything at all. Like, I got it really low. So, I'm not sure. Oh well, might as well try it anyway. Alright, let's go. And now the dreaded loading screens of death. Well, anyway, I am literally the only streamer that I've seen on all of Hitbox that does Star Citizen related things, so. Yeah. I'm gonna take over Hitbox with Star Citizen. Since nobody else is doing it, I might as well take the opportunity to. One day, I'll have proper noise gating and that fan won't get in the way of everything. Come on, load, please. That is another thing. These load times are like they once were ages ago. But at the same time, they are way better than... No, you're not responding. Come on, that's bullshit. See, I told you it was bullshit. Oh, really? Oh, really? CIG connection services failed and timeout, eh? Oh, really? Oh, really? Well, that's good. That's perfectly good and all, because it allows me to do another test. Yeah, that should be good. Oh well, time to relaunch again. And of course, CryEngine. And nope, we are not going to be having this game in full screen because then I can't see the chat. Come on, I just gotta... Oh, fine. I will move the chat to the other screen then. Since our citizen apparently likes to be stubborn with moving screens. Oh, that's how you're gonna be. There we go. Fine, I'll just move everything to the other screen. Okay. Screen hog. Let's try this again. Loading Simulator 2016. Now, as I was saying earlier, before it decided the CIG servers are not whatever the hell, it basically took this long for the loading screens back during the early days of Arena Commander, which was to say Star Citizen Alpha, and they did it pretty weirdly numbered, I'll admit that, 0.8. And this was also the time when it took the longest for patches to come out. They tried recently, in about January or February or so, to do a commitment of at least one major patch every month. But this patch of 2.4 has so much stuff in it, that it really takes up a gigantic amount of time, and it's like the old days of Arena Commander patching, except with, I don't know, like 7 times the content. Basically, in Arena Commander 0.8, it took them about 6 months to get to 1.0, and in 1.0 they had 13 ships, some of which were variants of another, and a few new game modes. That's about it. Then after that they started doing a thing that would make it so that they had major releases with each patch number. And that's how it's been ever since. And it's going back to that old days of patching, but at the same time with a gigantic amount of content comparatively. But this loading time is also due to the fact that also due to the fact that I don't have an SSD. No! You gotta be fucking kidding me. Oh. Really? Now what the fuck am I gonna do? I got the music. You got me that far, at least. This is the PTU. This is what people want to get into, but are missing out on, quote-unquote. And I told them they're not missing out on barely anything at all. And that's gonna launch the CIG launcher again. It is literally almost 1 out of every 7 times Black Box Simulator 2016. Oh hey, this guy right here, this guy is part of the tutorial that they now disabled because they'd rather focus on fixing the major parts of the game and instead of... Wait a minute. Today? Oh crap! Today's Around the Verse Day! Ooh! I want to watch Around the Verse, but I also want to stream. To stream or Around the Verse. To stream or Around the Verse. I don't know. Anyway, let's go back to the PTU. Maybe I'll get some actual progress today. Anyway, let's go back to the PTU. Maybe I'll get some actual progress today. And again, I apologize for the fan noise. I do not have a noise gate set up, and, well, I'm sure you can understand. I am just starting out, but even that noise gating shouldn't keep you from the cheeriest voice in the Top Hatters community. And loading again. Time to take a drink. And yes, I am drinking right now. That may affect my flying. It may not affect my flying. Kids, don't drink and fly. Or rather, drink responsibly and fly responsibly. I think I'm just going to turn this off for now and let my computer slightly overheat. This won't be a problem once I plug this into my desktop, XSplit from my desktop, but right now, as a little bit of an explanation, I am doing almost everything on my laptop to see how it runs, and so far, despite being on my laptop, this game runs better than 80% of the games I've played, and it's in alpha right now. This is kind of an unfair metric, though, since they work so hard on optimization, and they have generally more time than other people, other AAA companies. So they have an advantage of being able to optimize as they go along in the alpha, which is what the process normally is, but we just don't see it because their development cycle is more open than most AAA publishers. Actually, I think I might be safe in saying any AAA publishers. Which is why the indie scene is booming so much, as well as the Kickstarted video game scene. I don't have a script. I am literally doing this off the cuff right now. So, obviously, it's not going to be as optimal as somebody that has a perfectly set up. But at the same time, you're also getting the real me by doing this. And I just really love Star Citizen. Everybody in the community knows this. I try not to make it too, spammy or anything, and I contain it to at least once a week, so this will be technically twice a week. Paulie's stream, PaulieM30, check him out, Gamers Over 30, on Hitbox, and I guess on YouTube? I don't know what his YouTube is right now, but mainly check him out on Hitbox. And this stream, which would be my own personal stream, and I'd be playing a lot of space games. I love space. So, that's how we wound up here. No, don't you do that. Nope, you know what? You know what? Nope, nope. You know what? Let's just go to the hangar right now. Apparently Port Olisar is not calling to us right now. Let us just go to the hangar right now and see if that'll even load. Oh, good. At least the hangar works. Question is, why do I have this particular, you know, helmet thing? Let's see. Oh, insert's not in anymore. F4 is the thing. So, caps lock. No, Z. V? V. That's what it was. This is the elevator that would normally take us to, well, teleport us to ArcCorp. It's the, what we call Planetside module. Ow, that hurt my ear. I'll have to work on that, turn the volume down a little bit at some point. It takes us to what we call the Planetside module, and it's in the final game. You're not gonna just teleport to a planet, you're gonna go directly from your planet. Where the hell did that noise come from? You're not gonna go from a planet, or you're not gonna go from this and be teleported via a loading screen to the planet. You will just literally go from your hangar to the planet surface. In this particular case, I don't know exactly where this hangar, which is known as the AeroView hangar, is supposed to... Oh god, R_motion blur 0. I am so sorry. I don't know where this particular hangar actually takes place in terms of the planetscape. And so that's why I'm just going to assume that it's something similar to like a not as fancy Terra, which is the second Earth in this particular universe. And you'd basically be going from your hangar to the planet surface. If it was even underground, it could just be... It could be on top of a building for all I know. A giant hangar on top of a building. But you go from this hangar into space without a loading screen. Right now, a loading screen is just a stopgap. I love that. I love that stopgap. Right now, a hangar is just a loading screen. No, right now that hangar is just a stopgap. Wow, messed that up. And it's a means to an end. And now, as I was starting to say earlier, before I got distracted, I never really had the chance to explore this hangar, so... Before I got distracted, you'll notice that as opposed to the default how things are, your character now, well, for not for everybody else, they don't have this yet, but this is a test patch within a test. Everybody else has armor in their hangar, But in this, you now have the ability to wear casual clothing. And there are many different manufacturers of clothing right now. They have about 5 of them showcased at the various stores, which we'll see later. But I can press Z to go around and... Oop, crotch shot. Z to look at him a little bit. That turns on the free camera. Let me just... Now, F4 is what I'm going to push, and that's going to go back into first-person view. Now, what I can get in first-person view is augmented reality mode, which allows me to do something known as the port modification system. I have no idea how to use it. But now, I just did. So let's go test that out then. So let's see here. Plaque band... I see here. Yeah, I think I'm going to remove that. And again, the abysmal frame rate is due to the fact that I am on my laptop, as well as the fact that, sorry, ADD moment. As well as the fact that, we're on my laptop right now. But the thing is, there's no point in playing on a high-end laptop, a high-end desktop versus a laptop right now. Since, although things are slightly optimized, they're still so severely unoptimized that it won't make nearly as much of a difference. I remember my friend Jet the other day and I were playing Star Citizen, and the most he got was 30 frames per second, and we rejoiced at that because of how low our frame rate was getting, but at the same time, I also got a 30 frames per second session, and that was because we had not that many players in our particular instance. He has a Fury X, this laptop has the equivalent of a 660 Ti. So, that's the main difference. But now I'm actually going to showcase this a little bit more. But before that, I will go to what distracted me in my ADD moment. Oh, there we go. There's a little bit of a frame increase over there. So I'm not quite sure what the heck this is. But it's mechanical, and it's pistoning and whatnot, and vibrating. So let's take a look and see. Danger hydraulic systems. Content pressurized. Not sure what it is then. Still not sure. Maybe that's what opens the door? Because these look like pistons too, and that's obviously a piston. Warning! You got enough warnings there, buddy? Well, I guess if you get hurt, they can't say you didn't warn them. Anyway, let's go ahead and check out a little bit more of this port modification system. Somehow. So... it says here, vehicle size 1 to 2, and it says here, vehicle size 4. That's something that we're gonna have to do. So, let's see here. I can either have... wait, I shouldn't have an Aurora. I shouldn't have that Aurora. Oh, dear. I shouldn't have that Aurora. I gave that Aurora away. Well, anyway... What's gonna happen now is... hopefully my vehicle will spawn. If not, I'll do it again. Come on, where the heck? Oh no, am I gonna get disconnected again? Well, that's a bust. Let's go back to the other place. Let's go to the elevator, which would take us to... ArcCorp. First, I'm gonna run around to demonstrate a little bit of the breathing mechanics, though. Oh, nope, there it is! Just took a little while. This is my 300i, the very first package that I ever owned before I start. Oh god, the bloom is still horrible. I wish I could turn that down. I'll try to turn it down via the brightness setting. No, that still doesn't work. Anyway. Okay, so this is the item port system for ships, everything. It's what's going to allow them to do pretty easy things like simply putting on clothes over you and armor over you, and it unifies the entire game in such an interesting way that I don't think many games, if any at all, have done it this way before with this item port system. CryEngine had something that was similar to the item port system, but it didn't exactly work for what they were trying to do, so they had to create this system. And it's just, I'm gonna put repeaters on. I'm gonna put repeaters on this ship. I'm gonna put repeaters on my 300i. Now, if you'll notice, it says power plant here, power plant here, power plant here, and power plant here. No, that says missile. Never mind. Well, that's because of the fact that eventually we're going to be having components, and I think they might even have a beta of the alpha of this right now. We're going to be having physicalized components to the point that you'll be able to physically take out this power plant and repair it, and repair damage to it. Similar to working in a car, if you know where things are on your ship, they're going to help you in the long run. How did I get the Starfarer Turret? How did I get the Starfarer Turret? That's what I want to know. Really, how did I get the Starfarer Turret? Clicky, click, 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 click. Come on, click. There we go. So, no, I can't put missiles on my ship right now. I can have one more gun at the nose, I think. Now, what I just did is known as monoboating. It's when you have one entire setup for things like weapons and armor. So I'm gonna test that out at some point if I can actually get into the persistent universe. God, this bloom. If not, then I'll just quickly do it in Arena Commander. Oh, crap. I didn't mean to do that. Oh, no wonder I was going so slow. Now, to get into Arena Commander, I would go into here. Or I could just go to electronic access from this menu. It doesn't matter. I don't know if it's disabled right now. We're about to find out. And eventually, we'll have Star Marine, but now we don't. I don't know if everybody's Unbroken Moon or Dying Star. I guess I'll find out. No, 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 no. No, no Broken Moon. Let's do Dying Star. And of course, loading. Yay! Match found! Let's go. And my abysmal frame rate is not gonna help me be a good pilot here. I am a good pilot, I swear. It's just that I don't have the proper frame rate right now. Oh man, this brings me back. This patch is gonna be so great once it hits live. Now see, most people abuse this public test universe, which is what it's called. It's the test before the widespread test. They abuse it to just see what's new and...
At your service. Core system
hold on a second. They abuse it to see what's new just so they can get like what they call an early preview, and they treat it like... Oh yeah, that beautiful monoboating. They treat it like an early preview as opposed to what they should be treating it as, which is an opportunity to test bugs. I thought it said we had a match. No, apparently not. And a timeout. That's probably what happened. let's see if the universe wants to cooperate with me. Tried our luck a little bit at exploring the hangar. I got to shoot some lasers. Some repeaters. All in all, it's an experience. It's not something that's for everybody. Not everybody's going to want to be essentially the equivalent of an unpaid tester for a video game company. But at the same time, by having so many people that are willing to be unpaid testers, they essentially get much, much better results in the long run, in addition to their own dedicated QA team. So, in the long run, it makes the game better than it would be normally. And in some ways, they have the largest QA team in history that no other company before them has in technical terms. Especially with the release of a new way of doing the testing, which is known as the Evocati, and affectionately called the avocado groups by the community, where they have an NDA on top of everything else. And it's understandable why they would have an NDA, because of just not wanting to get the most, if not borderline, testing exactly what QA, official paid QA would test, getting out into the public eye. This is not that version, but I imagine that the version of the test universe that was Evocati specific was even worse than what I just experienced, with crashes almost every 5 minutes, barely being able to get into the game at all, things floating around, all sorts of things. But if I can finally actually get into the Persistent Universe Alpha, that'll be good, because then I could start actually doing missions. Nope, I don't think I made it. I was right. Timeout. CIG connection services failed. Let's submit a bug report. At some point. Obviously, that's a thing. What? Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I am going to verify the files that I have. I did not do that. That is usually part of the process. I'm also going to delete my user folder. So, and I am going to watch Around the Verse. That is the decision that I'm going to make. I'm going to watch Around the Verse, and I will be back after that, and hopefully by the time I am back from that, the patch will have been finished verifying the files, the integrity of the cache, and all that boring technical stuff. So I will be back, and thank you for watching.